somewhere along the winding mountain paths of China, where mist drapes the cliffs like breath upon the world, a bell tolls once, deep, resonant, infinite. And there, through the veil of dawn, stands a figure of quiet grace. Her robes flow like water. Her eyes hold the calm of ages. In one hand, she lifts a willow branch, supple, unbroken, and in the other, a vase of pure water that seems to gather the light itself. She stands upon a lotus, untouched by the dust of the earth, listening. This is Guanyin, she who hears the cries of the world, the Bodhisattva of compassion, the mother of mercy, the listener of sorrow. For over 1,000 years, her name has echoed through the temples and coasts of East Asia. She has been called upon by emperors in marble halls and by mothers in candlelight. Her image rests in porcelain, in ink, in bronze, yet her true form is made of compassion itself. But her journey was not born in China. It began far to the west, in the ancient heart of India, where another name first carried her light across the world. Before she was known as Guanyin, she was Avalokiteśvara, the Lord who gazes down in compassion. In the Mahayana Sutras, Avalokiteśvara appears as one who refuses the peace of nirvana until all beings are free. While others sought release, he vowed to stay, to walk the world's burning roads, listening for the cries of those still bound to sorrow. In the Lotus Sutra, he is called by those in peril, a traveler lost at sea, a prisoner before the blade, a woman in childbirth, a merchant surrounded by demons. Whoever calls upon his name with sincerity, the sutra says, he will hear and he will come. This promise, that a divine being listens, moved hearts across Asia. As Buddhism journeyed along the Silk Road during the Han Dynasty, 1st to 2nd century CE, Avalokiteśvara's image entered China. But to take root in Chinese soil, he would have to change. China's world was woven with its own cosmology, of yin and yang, of balance between heaven and earth, of moral harmony and filial duty. And so, over the centuries, compassion itself began to take on a new face. In early Chinese temples, Guanyin was still depicted as a male bodhisattva, a celestial prince crowned with jewels, sometimes with 1,000 arms or 11 heads, symbolizing infinite reach and infinite sight. But by the 9th century, something subtle began to change. The face softened. The crown gave way to flowing hair. The robes became lighter, more fluid. The posture maternal, serene. The compassion that once gazed down now seemed to embrace. By the Song-dynasty, Guanyin had become unmistakably feminine, the compassionate mother of all beings. Why this transformation? Perhaps because in Chinese culture, compassion had long worn the face of motherhood, gentle, enduring, without pride. Or perhaps it was the story that began to circulate in temples and villages alike, the legend of Miàoshān. Once, it is said, there was a princess, the youngest daughter of a cruel king. When her father demanded she marry for power, she refused, seeking instead a life of virtue and meditation. Enraged, the king had her executed. But at the moment of death, her spirit blossomed into light, and she was reborn upon Mount Pǔtuó, the sacred island where sea and sky meet. There she attained enlightenment, becoming Guanyin, the one who listens to all suffering. In Miàoshān's story, Buddhist compassion merged with Confucian filial devotion, a bridge between worlds. Guanyin became not just divine, but deeply human, a daughter, a martyr, a savior, and a healer. And across China, people began to whisper, "She hears us, because she was one of us." By the Ming and Qing dynasties, Guanyin had become more than a bodhisattva. She was the beating heart of popular faith. Her temples stood on mountaintops and riverbanks, her statues in homes and markets, even on the decks of ships that braved the South China Sea. Pilgrims journeyed to Mount Pǔtuó, where legend said she once appeared to save a shipwrecked merchant from the waves. There, at sunrise, devotees left lotus flowers and whispered their hopes into the wind, for safe journeys, for sons, for mercy in unseen trials. Guanyin's image appeared in endless forms, sometimes seated in the pose of royal ease, one leg dangling as if ready to rise and help, sometimes holding a vase of pure water and a willow branch, symbols of healing and flexibility. And in her most awe-inspiring form, the thousand-armed Guanyin, each hand bearing an eye, so that she may see all suffering and reach out to all who call. In porcelain and scroll, in wood and ink, she entered every corner of Chinese life. To mothers, she was protector and midwife. To sailors, guardian of storms. To scholars, a symbol of wisdom's tenderness. In the flicker of every household altar, the people saw a reflection of their own longing, that someone, somewhere, was listening. As dynasties rose and fell, Guanyin's light crossed the seas. In Korea, she became Guānyīn, her compassion flowing through mountain temples and island hermitages. In Japan, she was Kannon, protector of travelers, her name carved into the 33 Kannon temples pilgrimage route. In Vietnam, she was Quan Am, worshipped as the gentle mother who rescues all beings from the ocean of suffering. Everywhere she went, she changed in form, yet remained the same in spirit, a mirror of each culture's deepest idea of mercy. In modern times, her image towers again, from Hong Kong's Shan Monastery, where a 76-meter statue gazes out to sea, to the small altars in hospitals and prisons, where candles burn quietly beside photographs of loved ones. She belongs now to no single faith. In temples, in art, in the stillness before sleep, Guanyin endures. A symbol not of doctrine, but of the universal need to be heard, understood, and comforted. What is it about Guanyin that endures when empires vanish? Perhaps it lies in the meaning of her name, she who hears the cries of the world. She does not promise to erase suffering. She promises something deeper, presence within it, to listen, to act, to offer mercy as the most human of divine acts. In Mahayana Buddhism, this is compassion, karuna, not as sentiment, but as practice. It is the courage to look directly upon pain and remain unshaken. It is the vow to enter the burning house of the world and stay until every voice is heard. Guanyin embodies this vow. She is divine yet human, transcendent yet near, a mother, a savior, a mirror to every soul that cries out. To the poor, she is deliverance. To the barren, the granter of children. To the dying, a quiet hand that never lets go. Even now, in the noise of modern life, her silence speaks. Her image stands not only in temples, but in art, in memory, in the faint echo of empathy that survives in each of us. From the sands of India to the mountains of China, from scroll to porcelain, from prayer to silence, the story of Guanyin is the story of compassion becoming human. She began as Avalokiteśvara, the Lord who looked down. She became Guanyin, the woman who listened up. Her transformation reveals the heart of Chinese civilization itself, the blending of philosophies, the moral gravity of listening, and the beauty of change born from empathy. And so, when the bells chime at dawn and the incense curls in the cold air, imagine her standing there, on a lotus that floats above sorrow, eyes soft but alert, hands open in blessing. She is Guanyin, the goddess who heard the world cry and who still hears it, even now.